I did upgrade by the way too. I'm hoping that did it for us.
Think it may have worked out for you.
Well, so far, it's not jumping all over the place so far.
Fantastic. We're
Yeah,
going to
we'll
hope for the
see.
best. We're on live now, kind
Yes,
sir. Go right ahead, Dr. Gaston.
fantastic. Thanks a lot, Brother Chris. And so, hey, welcome to the Writers Wordshop. This is our weekly Friday night gathering of poets, and we have some outstanding poets through the Writers Workshop. And we're so glad to be right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg, as always. And we hope that you will continue to watch this program and support it. And if you're a poet or writer, come on and join us, join the community. We had to take a few precautions there because some people, just don't know how to act. And said, just tell the truth. Got on here and started acting up. We don't condone, just gratuitous profanity, or really, erotic stuff and all that. We try to make it, something that is as high class as it can be, as at the same time helping, letting people express themselves, but in a decent way. That's the thing. And we do work with young people and we work with families. And so that's what it's all about. This is about the writing process. We enjoy this platform because Brother Chris Thomas and his lovely wife, Melissa, they've put up a beautiful station here, a platform that allows so many people to come on. And the only thing that we have got to do is we have got to figure out a way of increasing viewership because there's no reason for us to be out there in the world and available to the whole world and people not take advantage of it. And we think we have something to offer. So that's why I really hope that you will assist us, become a partner in this and, share and also, spread the word that we're here and we're doing some good work. I think we're doing great work. The Writers Workshop started back in 1977, and that means we're still going strong all these years later. And we are publishers of books and we read poetry and all that kind of stuff. This is my latest little venture. I don't mind showing it. This is called, Stories of African American Success and Achievement, Struggles, I'm sorry, and Achievements that Feed the Soul. And it has in here a bunch of, short articles that I've written especially through Black Wall Street, or Black Wall Street newspaper, Black Wall Street of Pennsylvania. Thanks to the Dallas family, Jenny and Bishop Dallas. Thank you for doing what you do. And then, of course, we have, the anthologies we've done over the years. We have this platform, which is the Writers Workshop, a great partner in the State Museum of Pennsylvania. And we've had great partnerships also with the Midtown Scholar Bookstore. We haven't been there in a while, but, for years we were there. And so many other places. So, we really enjoyed this platform, the Writers Workshop. And we're going to make it more dynamic by having some speakers on. I had a speaker on last night, and he was a great guy. I do a program called the Griot Collective. We're going to move that platform into this time slot along with the Writers Workshop and just start doing more things. We don't have to have a whole hour-long interview. We can have, 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour interview, as well as do poetry, as well as share some great, outstanding videos and continue to work with our youth. There's so much we can do on this platform. And then we also have a channel. We have a Writers Workshop channel that we're going to, do more promoting of, as well as a Life Esteem channel right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. And so, we hope that, we can just take these platforms and really do more with them and reach more people with them and bless more people with them. That's what it's all about. We help people to find their voice. And there's a lot of great things going on. So, for example, Ro Brady and also Maria Chow. Ro Brady in particular has been a really consistent member of the Writers Workshop. She comes on a lot, just about every week. And she's a school teacher and she's a novelist, poet, and very, very good at what she does. She's also a playwright and director. She is now directing an upcoming play called Hair Story, which will take place in May. I think it's May the 4th through the 10th, I believe, actually, but 2 of those days, the last 2 days, will actually be dedicated to, local schools. So they'll be going into schools and putting on the plays, but it's open to the general public for like the 4th through the 8th or, something like that. Also, the play is written by, and it was conceived by Maria Chow, who's just an outstanding poet and professor. She's been a long time professor over at Central Penn College, and then she worked with CASA, the Capital Area Arts Association there, worked with those students. And she's kind of out on her own, doing her own thing, and she's doing a great thing. She's written a powerful piece. It's a choreo poem called Hair Story. And it's mostly about African-American women and their hair. And so we're looking forward to it. We know it's going to be off the chart, but those persons are big time supporters of the Writers Workshop, both of them. And there you go. That's a wonderful flyer too, by the way. I like that flyer. And, we will be supporting that, taking out an ad there, I guarantee you. And, we're looking forward to it. Again, Hair Story. And so, there's a lot of good stuff going on. We have a guy that comes on a lot of times. He may not be on tonight, but oftentimes he comes on. His name is Neil Owens, and Neil's out of North Carolina. And Neil's an outstanding novelist and is doing great work. And he shares his work with us, mostly time to time. He's on just about every week too. He takes hiatuses sometime, and then he comes back, and we have Dr. Dan Snowden, who's he's a scientist, for real. And then also he's been writing poetry, and he has a great voice. He has sort of a rhyming scheme that he uses, and his stuff is a little different than everybody else's, which is a good thing, to have that authentic voice of your own. So we appreciate Dr. Dan Snowden. Of course, there's, Wendy Noche Onye, and we always enjoy her. I just mentioned Ro Brady. Look at this here. Here she pops up. Ro, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. I just got to talking about Hair Story, Ro Brady directing, and Maria Chow writing, and all this stuff. So, just have to say that. But anyhow, so, again, Wendy Noche Onye is an outstanding poet, and she's an author, has her own book of poetry out, as did Ro. I mentioned Ro. And then also Queenie Clem has been coming on quite a bit. She took a long hiatus, but she came on the last couple of weeks here and brought us an outstanding poet. I think it was last week we had an outstanding poet on. She did a great job. We call it Queenie's Corner. And so we look forward to having her on as much as possible. And then who else? I'm not missing anybody. Okay. Oh, Lucille Powder out of New York City, out of New York. Lucille is a great writer, and she writes all the time. A lot of times Lucille come on and say, I just wrote this piece, and she'll, run it off for us. And so that's good stuff. But anyhow, so those are just some of the people that have come on and graced the workshop pretty consistently. And, there's others as well. Keontae Ricks, I could go down the line of different people who have been really, really instrumental in keeping the workshop alive and keeping things going. We do have some things coming up. Hopefully we're going to pull off this Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April the 8th. And we hope to have some vendors, and it's a great time, sponsored by the Writers Workshop and Life Esteem Incorporated, up there at the Camp Curtin Elementary School off of 6th Division Street. And so we're going to have times. I got to give Nicole Wilkerson all the credit. She does a great job of organizing and conceptualizing things. And she's going to, help us pull together this wonderful program in which we have, this program. And also, we have some sponsors that are looking to step up and help us out with that as well. And I'll be naming them off in a future program as we begin to solidify those, relationships. Also, don't forget April the 16th, we're going to have a wonderful program over at the State Museum. It is called our Youth Poetry Showcase. And it will start at 12:30 and go until 4. And we will be highlighting some young people. And we do have a featured poet by the name of Tiger Rose. And Tiger Rose is like a legend around here. He's done great work, and a lot of people know of him. He's graced all of the poetry circles, and he has hard-hitting, dynamic work that he does. So we're looking for. But also, I was called by the Harrisburg School District and Sister Dara Brown, and she is an outstanding teacher there at Scott School. And she said, "Dad, a young lady who got up, she's only in the 4th grade, and she blew this people away at one of their assemblies when she did a spoken word piece." And she said, "I'm telling you, this young girl was so good." She said, all the teachers still talking about it. The students really went by. They thought it was fantastic. So we're going to feature her, hopefully, there on April the 16th at the State Museum. Feature this 4th grader who loves to do spoken word. Man, you can't beat that with a stick. Also, the contest, we're having a contest that day. It's called a showcase, but we are giving out cash prizes to the first, second, and third place winners. And we will give out $250 for the first place winner, $100 for the second place winner, and then $50 for the third place winner. And also, give out prizes and gifts to all of the contestants. It's for grades 9 through 12. So if you know of any young people that might be interested in presenting their poetry and in entering into this contest, grades 9 through 12, all area schools, regardless of, race, color, creed, all that kind of good stuff. Anybody and everybody is welcome to participate in the Writers Workshop Youth Poetry Showcase. And don't forget, April is Poetry Month. We celebrate poetry during the month of April. One of the things we're going to do also on April the 16th is honor one of my mentors, Sonia Sanchez. And we're going to get some young people to read some of her works. She has now been honored greatly in the past year. In fact, she received a couple of major fellowships and everything. And, she is really, truly one of the elder statespersons of revolutionary poetry. And she doesn't ever waver. She doesn't change. By the way, she's an outstanding educator, and I was blessed enough to not only have her here as a poet any number of times, but also when I worked for the Department of Education, we had a major educational conference, and I was able to get her to be the keynote speaker. And she came in and did a fantastic job about, our youth and the need to, look at our educational system and make some improvements. Speaking of education, I have a teacher on the line here with me, and that is, of course, Ro Brady. Ro, how you doing?
I am doing well. I was afraid that somebody was going to play a cruel joke on me today that it's Friday and tell me it was Monday.
Oh.
Yes, it just seemed like such an incredibly long week.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
My eyes are foggy. I just came back from the eye doctor, and you know how they dilate your pupil. So I'm driving back from Mechanicsburg, like,
oh man,
I could get
well,
home.
you're doing what I need to do. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta look at my eyes. I haven't done that in a while. It's like, whoa, and I'm feeling it too. Yeah. So man, you got your eyes dilated. That is an experience. I don't know if anyone's ever done it. Yeah, look like your eyes feel like they're that big.
They do, and they're finally starting. It's kind of like having Novocaine at the dentist. You know how your eyes are starting to feel like normal. But you're all foggy, and I'm sitting like right in front of the computer.
The first time I did it, I was out at the Colonial Park Mall, and I walked through Boscov's, and I'm telling you, it looked like I was just going to bump into everything and everybody. And I kept thinking, what is happening here? It was incredible. Nan, how you doing? You're muted, Nan. You're muted. Nan, you're muted.
I was at Peachtree with the Red Hatters. I just got in the house.
Oh, right on.
Trying to get connected here.
All right. That's fantastic.
But I did go into the my computer to see if I got any more things from Axel.
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Yeah, because Tamika called me. Did you ever call her back?
Yeah, I talked to her a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's calling. It ain't just Tamika. Everybody's calling. Carmen Henry Harris called me just as we were going on the air, and she's not able to open this and that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. We will listen. As far as I'm concerned, and I love this program. I think it's fantastic. But I think this is something that must be done in person.
It had,
all
yes.
this back and forth stuff.
Yes, I definitely agree to that.
This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, it has to. We have to print the stuff out, find a venue, and make this thing work. Because these kids are too valuable. This process is too important, and the judges are giving their time. And I don't think we should do this. So I'm just saying, and it's nobody's fault. It's just the process.
Right.
So we're gonna make sure. I'm just gonna push like the devil. No, not like the devil. I'm just gonna push. I don't know why people say that. I know, I'm sorry. But no, we're gonna push to make sure that this is done properly and in person next time, so we can get this thing done. Yeah. But anyhow, how's the Red Hatters doing?
Oh, they're going to the play. I said, well, I couldn't go to the play because I had to get back here and check because I'm a judge and I need to be pulling stuff up.
Mhm.
They're going to Anne Frank and Emmett
Yeah,
Till.
I'm gonna try to go Sunday,
Yeah, that's where they're going.
Maria.
Have you heard anything about it?
I had a card that
I
what
mean,
did-
have you heard anybody say they saw it and it's good? It's what, you know?
Oh, no, I don't know anybody that saw it.
Mhm. The concept is outstanding. I'm just wondering how they, what it's like. And I
Yeah.
always like to get a little review.
Yeah, I was talking to Maria. We were at rehearsal yesterday. We were going to try to hook up and go on Sunday. I think we have a matinee at 3:00. We haven't solidified it, but if we go, I'll definitely let you know how it is. But
We may try to go also. The last couple of weeks we went to see the Wiz down in the Wiz was in Lancaster, and then we went to see the Aretha Franklin tribute, and that was just outstanding. The young lady just tore it up. I mean, quite frankly, she sounded more like Patti LaBelle, but she was such an entertainer. She really did. She could do Patti LaBelle in her sleep, but she really liked Aretha. And then the two backup singers, oh my goodness, they could sing. I'm like, wait a minute. And the one lady sounded a little bit more like Aretha than the actual star, but they could all sing. Oh my goodness. And they brought the house down. They had a full orchestra, the full York Community Orchestra behind them, plus their own band. And so it was pretty spectacular. I had to give them credit. That was very entertaining.
Well, tomorrow is the last day for Anne Frank.
Oh no.
is it tomorrow?
26?
Oh, that's
That's what I
Sunday.
have.
Yeah, I have that same thing. I've been looking at the dates. I didn't realize that I had run out of March.
No, it's 26th Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
26. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, 25th is tomorrow.
Yeah.
okay.
I may look into going to that. That sounds, yeah, I want to check that out.
Wow.
Mhm.
I don't want to deal with any more sadness. It makes me think.
Well, yeah, it's
I'm so sick of it.
Mhm. I love good drama though, and I like historical pieces like that, and especially if it's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I missed what is it that Sankofa just put on Sharia Ben?
Yeah. Okay. What was the name of that? I went to go see that. Me, Maria, and Janet went to go see it. The
8th Ward 2.
Yeah,
something like that?
yes. Uh-huh. It was very
Mhm.
well done.
And I saw that on Facebook. I mean, it looked very colorful,
It was.
Yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
well done. I totally enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
that's I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
how she does theater. It's really always well done. I've gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so listen, April the 16th, we're having, like I said, a youth poetry showcase. But I always call on, of course, you ladies and gents who are part of the workshop, that if you want to, present that day, if you have something that you'd like to do, we'd love to have you.
April.
Yeah, we're hoping
Is that
to
a
have-
Sunday?
It'll be Sunday, April the 16th.
Oh, okay.
Looking at my calendar. I have to look at that's a Sunday. I should be able to come because we're moving into Monday and Saturday rehearsals. We're getting so I have to before I commit to anything, I was like, okay, wait a minute, where's the rehearsal schedule?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
some of the Red Hatters are talking about coming to that.
Yay.
Yeah, but that's the day I won't be able to come because that's the day I leave for my cruise, May 4th.
I already have that in my book. Yeah. The
Yeah.
poetry at the State Museum. I have it in there already.
Okay, right on. Good. Excellent. Yeah. And now where you cruising to this time, Nanette?
I had the list up here somewhere.
Oh, boy.
It's the Bermuda, Labadese, Hades, La Roma, Puerto Plata,
Oh, yeah.
Dominican Republic. Yeah, it's a
Fantastic.
9-day cruise.
We
That's
went
good.
on that same cruise. You'll enjoy it. We went to the same
Well,
places.
I've been there before. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puerto Plata, yeah, that's in the Dominican Republic, yeah.
Mhm.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great places, though. That's good.
I just want to get away.
Uh-huh.
We have a whole bus leaving from Harrisburg
Oh, wow.
with Jesse Alfonso and Connie.
Alfonso
They
and
have-
Connie?
Connie, Jesse Alfonso and Connie Alfonso,
Mhm.
because I used to go on trips with them all the time.
How many people are you think?
Gary Penn,
No, Gary Penn in the group. Yeah. How many
yeah.
people are going?
Well, on the bus, it was like, it's a 48 passenger bus, and
Wow.
we were going to go in a limousine to New Jersey, go out of New Jersey.
Mhm.
And then Millie Robinson, she found out that Jesse and them was going to go. So it's 8 of us that jumped onto the bus. So,
Nice. Nice.
so we fill up the bus.
So y'all going cruising for 9 days, a whole Harrisburg contingent. We'll keep a light on for y'all, okay?
Okay.
That's fantastic. That's great. That's great. So here's the thing, you know, Nanette, you are a writer. Ro and I have christened you as a writer. Listen, so when you go out there on that cruise, we want you to start and think about, you know, the excitement of it all, the, you know, places you go to, and just write something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have plenty of time laying around on the
How about that, Ro? Use it as a poetic, inspirational moment or something. Huh?
Yes, seriously. Yeah, that would be great. I would just love to lay in the sun right now. And
Now I ain't say I was laying in the sun, Ro. I'm dark enough.
well, not, you know, like, but in a warm weather.
I know warm, yeah. I know. The last time I laid out on a cruise and fell asleep, and I woke
Oh no.
and I was crusty. I mean, I was black. It was scary. It was really scary.
Wow.
And I was even under the shade laying out. Fell asleep.
You know, I can't sleep outside like that when you know people go upstairs in those, you know, tops and they lay back on the beach and lay back in the pool and all that. I'm too. I love a cruise though. Love a cruise.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yes,
looking
indeed.
forward.
Well, look, what time is it, by the way? I'm going to ask Brother Chris. We always pull up our videos, of course, and one of the things that people who are maybe watching this for the first time, I don't know that, you know, we're sort of a small community of writers who come together and we, you know, are open that wants to come and be a part of this, as long as you, you understand that you're, you know, coming to be a non thing. Okay, that happened again, Brother Chris. We were saying that I just updated my Zoom, but for some reason this thing's becoming going in and out. Okay, but it is what it is. But we do a video and we try to highlight some outstanding spoken word pieces every single week that we meet. And so I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he'll pull up the first video for tonight. We usually have 4 that we highlight. And here we go.
I saw a penny on the ground, but I left it there, shining, evenly coated with a bronze complexion, hoping that I would reconsider and slide it into my pocket, because pennies are just like us. We all want to feel wanted. Pennies are just like us, stepped over, misused, mistreated. So I'm sorry, penny. The harder way was meant for you, and this is just my 2 cents, but look at the coin. They put Lincoln in blackface for signing the Emancipation Proclamation. He was considered a traitor, so they separated him from the other coins and made him an outcast for trying to elevate us. Get it? Me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Probably think that I was overthinking this, and there was no correlation between race and currency, and maybe you're right. Maybe that penny is just another useless penny, but the fact remains that if we saved enough of them, we can make change. But the only reason we get saved is because enough of us can make them dollars by trapping, rapping, or passing the ball, so we become profitable. But it's hard for us to make change when we only see ourselves as pennies, but we get seen as threats. So we are murdered on balconies and inside of passenger seats and leave nothing but dreams and hashtags behind us like footsteps as warnings for those who walk in our shoes. But to pacify us, they pointed our attention in the direction of a shiny penny sitting on a throne in the White House, and what we thought would be a black fist was really a president grinding other pennies in his hand while dropping bombs on brown countries. It's ironic how black oppression is hidden with a black face, because when you look at the last 8, we was always the last ones that ate, because our unemployment rates shot through the roof like Marissa Alexander and left us starving for justice, while corrupt judges paroled dimes for exchange for a handful of pennies to send to prison, because the 13th Amendment is really the loophole to legalize slavery, and behind those walls, all pennies matter. So now that I understand that life is a strategic game of chess and white gets to make the first move, I understand why I have been conditioned to leave that penny laying on the ground with nobody around to claim it, like a young child abandoned in the projects, left wandering around in a diaper full of piss and potential, hoping you don't ignore his gifts because of his stench. Flint needs water. There are liquor stores on every corner. We fight wars in other countries when our threats are coming from the inside like cancer, and since not all pennies are magic, we can't afford the cure. We can't afford attention, or maybe nobody cares about the chemtrails that decorate project skies like poisonous rainbows and alters mindsets. They call them projects because we are projects like 2017 Tuskegee experiments. Why are the clouds in the hood always gray? Maranatha. If I could save every last penny I found on the ground, I know I could change the world. They just want to know that we care. But we don't, because even the brown people step over the brown coins while protesting to show that Black lives matter, because we've been taught to believe that it takes 10 of us to make us worth a dime. Get it? Said it takes 10 pennies to make us worth a dime, and since pressure made us multiply, they created eugenics under the guise of Planned Parenthood to mask abortions and decrease our numbers, and the babies that made it out the womb are now targeted by marksmen or vigilante citizens to prove that we are literally nothing more than a penny with a hole in it. Like Oscar Grant, Philando Castle, Jordan Davis. It seems we are expendable when the world mourns for a gorilla, but gold funds killers. Why are we so quick to leave the brown ones on the ground or hope for a better life while we carelessly toss them into the wishing well and watch them sink to the bottom like a slave mother escaping captivity by jumping overboard into shark-infested waters with her baby cradle in her arms and with her eyes closed tight? She symbolized my wish that our people will break free from their chains instead of rapping about wearing them, and that is the problem. We don't know where we came from. They made our Genesis the Middle Passage, skipped over our Exodus from Israel and Africa, and whitewashed scripture so we can never see our reflections in the pages of God's word. And that's how you convince kings and queens that they were never more than slaves, because if you hold the pen that writes history, you can control the future and change the color of a savior, because it only takes 4 generations to rewrite the past. And that's why we celebrate Christopher Columbus, even though he slaughtered pennies and know nothing about Leopold's annihilation of the Congo, but yet we condemn Hitler for murdering nickels. I'm trying to make sense of it. Nickels, dimes, and quarters were always worth more than a handful of pennies. Nickels, dimes, and quarters were always worth more than a handful of pennies. Nickels, dimes, and quarters were always worth more than a handful of pennies. And if you ever drop change, always pick up the pennies.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to go out in my driveway and pick up this penny.
You walked right past it, didn't you?
I saw it earlier when I drove up and got out my car and put my trash cans up, and I just left it.
Mhm. Yep.
Now I gotta go get that penny.
There you go.
Oh my.
It's so funny. I used to always say, you see a penny, you pick it up, it's going to bring you good luck, right?
Yeah, that's what they
And I
said.
remember thinking, no, you pick that thing up and give you germs. And so I started leaving them alone too. I ain't picking a little dirty penny. But think about it, it's pretty
Like
powerful.
Ice-T.
Mhm.
I said, didn't he look like Ice-T though?
You-
A little thinner. Yeah.
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 I didn't think about that until he said it. Mhm. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, what did you think of the piece overall?
He got a lot out of that penny, I'll tell you that.
I was really feeling that. I this week it was like I sat down and I wrote this piece. It was taking me back to a lot of stuff that I have experienced, and I was really feeling what he was saying.
Mm.
Feeling what he was saying.
Yep. All from that brown penny with Lincoln on it.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Wow.
like the symmetry and everything. And sometimes in spoken word, sometimes I think to myself, did it go too long? Can you stick with it, or do they say it and then they say it again? They need to maybe cut it sometimes, shorten it a little bit, and maybe go into another whole different part. I don't know. But my biggest thing is attention, because what he had to say was powerful. It was really
Mhm.
good. But as it goes on longer, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, because I'm just that guy. I'm ADD, EFG,
No.
HIP. I am. I'm sort of like, whoa.
I
Wait a
think I
minute.
have written this week the longest piece I have ever written.
Okay.
And I was funny because my son said something to me. He's at school in Texas, and he made this statement to me, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so good! I'm gonna hang up now. I gotta write this."
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. He was just going through something, and what he said to me, just like, oh my gosh. And then later this week, it's just been a week, and I sat down, and his thoughts just started to ramble. And all week I've been writing this. And I was, while you were talking, I was like, I had part of it on my phone. So I just finally put it in my notebook.
I
But
saw
I
you writing something. I didn't realize that's what you were doing. That's good.
Yeah.
When are we gonna hear it?
One
Yeah.
spot. Want
When
to hear
are
now?
I said, when are we gonna hear it?
So you want to hear now?
Why
It's up
not?
to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, my son he just inspired me. It's called Is It Eternal? Will it remain settled on my soul, ingrained in my spirit, permeating my nostrils like washed chitlins cooking on the back burner of my mama's stove in the kitchen where my sister's hair fried like breakfast bacon? Is it eternal? Like my daddy's bad back and busted knees he got serving in a war for a country that thinks of him as second-class citizen and only 3/5 of a man, unlike the man standing in the unemployment line beside him. Is it eternal? Like catching raindrops on your tongue that soon turn into blood droplets splattered across urban sidewalks. Like little white boys who tell you it's okay if they don't do the work now because they will grow up into middle-class white men where all things will come like golden gifts on shiny silver platters. Is it eternal? Like this heavy oppression that pushes Black folks down, making them forget about those undreamed thoughts of success in the whitewashed marketplace. Is it eternal to be the token one, the one with the brownest face, the only one that shines like newly washed, clean to the bone, assimilated, chosen, programmed robots? Is it eternal to forget about the ancestors who breathed their last good breath, crossing the bloody banks of the Jordan to reach the other side, only to discover that beans don't burn on the fire and good times are slow to come? Does the heaviness of carrying your melanin leave you weak at the end of the day? Does it give you cause to wonder why the finger is being pointed at you? Do you suffer from mistaken identity? Folks telling you who you'll never be, finding fault with the space that you take up in the universe? Is it eternal? Take no comfort in these temporary afflictions. Turn your face to the sun, because there is where eternity lies.
That's a good piece. Wow. What did you just
Can you hear that car horn blowing? Can you hear that? Can you hear that car horn blowing on my page? Oh, it's off now. That's why I muted, because that car horn outside was blowing. But
I
anyway.
never heard it.
Oh, okay. What sparked you to write that after you said, I mean, if it's okay to ask after what your son said to you?
Yeah, just some things that he was going through with, being where he is. Having to be, a young Black man, going to school in Texas, and just some experiences that he was sharing with me, and then some experiences that I had this week. And I just like little bits and pieces just started coming to me, and I just started writing.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said I was feeling what he was saying about the penny thing.
Oh, what part of Texas is he in?
He's going to school at A&M, so he's like on the borderline of Texas and Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Texas A&M, okay. Oh, yeah. Was he undergrad or graduate school?
He's an undergrad.
Okay. What you studying?
He is a finance major.
Oh, boy. Yeah, smart man.
Yeah, he's doing fairly well.
Get that money.
So you have
Okay.
relatives out there?
No, we don't have any relatives. And
Because I know some part of the Scott White family, some of the kids are out there between Texas and Arkansas.
Hmm,
So
okay.
I don't know how close they are to him.
Mhm.
Talk
Okay.
to mother with the Scott White family, how y'all stay so youthful looking. Oh my goodness. I mean, maybe that's one of them.
I guess it's in the genes or something.
The genes, I'm telling you. Yeah, really, really fantastic. Good stuff. I do miss y'all singing though.
Yeah, we sort of miss it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good piece, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. You used the refrain effectively. Hey, Neil, how you doing, man?
How you doing, Nate?
All
There
right.
you go. Hello, everybody. All
Just
right.
hearing you, man. Mhm.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was just saying that Bro just read a piece of real powerful. And I like the refrain, is it eternal? But also like the the imagery of, you always use the like, and you always say the like, and you go into, and I always think that's such a an effective tool, because it helps you to understand what the writer is comparing it to and all that. So yeah, you use a lot of good effective tools, and what they call it, alliteration, even some of that creeped in there as well. It's a good piece. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Neil, what's happening, man?
How you doing? I'm just not much, man. Just been just real busy, man. Busy with a lot of other things, not just writing, but other things, personal life. Just been busy.
Man, you got a Richard Roundtree look going, man. You got that beard and that stance and everything looks pretty distinguished, brother. I like that. That's a good look, man. But yeah, busy is a good thing for all of us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good thing. That's right. It is a good thing.
Yeah. Right on, brother. Yeah, man. Got to do it.
Well,
Got to
they
keep
say
it moving.
idleness is the devil's workshop.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got to keep busy.
Yeah,
I
that's
keep
right.
busy because I want to keep this body moving, because I mean, this arthritis in the hip and
Oh man,
the knees and
that's right. Let's leave Arthur alone.
yeah. But
About to flare up.
I don't know. Do you know Alta from Stilton, Alta Hannah?
think
She's
so.
one of our Red Hat sisters, but she had told me before and I forgot that if you drink vinegar and a teaspoon of vinegar and water every day, that breaks up the crystals in the arthritis or something. So I said, okay, I'm going to start drinking it.
Yeah, I heard about the vinegar. Yeah.
So I'm going to start drinking it every day. And
They say get the kind with the mother in it, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that little, yeah.
It has to be a cider, apple cider.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Those old people know what they're talking about. The ancestors
Yeah.
stuff down, and we just don't do it. Too busy. I'm too busy at McDonald's. I don't know what to do.
You're gonna mess up your little girly figure.
Yeah. It's gone.
Leave McDonald's alone.
I know. Yeah, actually, I have most of the time, man. But it's one of those things.
I think I'm gonna go on a after Easter. I think I'm going to go on back to my shakes in the morning.
It's a good
Yeah.
move.
Buy myself those little blenders that I can stick in my bag and have a shake for breakfast and a shake for lunch. And
That's a good idea.
because I'm not walking anymore. So it's just like I go from maybe the office back to my classroom, maybe once or twice a day. And that's like it. And I come home, I don't walk. So I'm like, oh no, we can't have this. We need to do something.
Yeah, Neil, your camera's really struggling there, brother. I don't know what's going on.
I've been having a lot of, I don't know, every time I come on Zoom, it seems to be having a problem. I don't know what the deal is with this thing.
You may want to upgrade. Chris just told me about upgrading, which I did today. Mine is acting much better, man. I got to tell you. And it's real simple. You can come on and tell us what to do, but I went on and did it. And voila. Yeah, he said you have to upgrade every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Brother Chris. If Brother Chris is still listening to us.
Yeah.
Can you help your brother out? Help our brother Owens the way you help me out, man.
Oh, sure, Brother Neil. It's very simple, man, and actually it solves probably 9 out of 10 issues that you would experience with Zoom. You just go to zoom.us, which is the homepage for Zoom. Scroll to the bottom of the page, and you'll see 5 options at the bottom. You want to look for the downloads. The first download available is the Zoom client, and you want to download the latest one, then make sure you install it after the download, and it will
You're
solve
going
that.
kind of fast.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
should.
I am.
Sure. Well,
can
basically,
you
it's just
show-
going to zoom.us and then go scroll to the bottom of the page and just download the latest Zoom client. And
Yeah,
that will
okay.
solve 95% of the issues you're experiencing
Okay.
with Zoom. It's helped out probably dozens of people that we work with, on a
Chris,
daily basis. So I'm sure it'll work for you.
you did a split screen with me. Is that possible to do that now? And you kind of should demonstrate it to me.
Let me see
It
here.
was real simple once you showed
Yeah,
it
it
to
should
me. I
be
was like,
simple enough. Give me 1 second here to pull that up.
even though he
Okay.
told me, I still called him early this morning.
So
Woke him up
sure.
out of bed and said, "Man, how do you do this?"
So sure. Well, here you go. So zoom.us up here at the top. You scroll down past your meetings and all that stuff, all the way to the very bottom of the page. Keep going down, down, down. And then you'll see, like I said, the 5 options: about, download, sales, support, language. The second option is download. The first option under download is meetings client. That's the one you want to download, and then make sure you install after it's downloaded, Neil. And I'm sure that'll solve what you're going through, bro.
Can you
Yeah.
hit the download once so he can see? Oh, that's okay. You're good.
Yeah. I see it.
And then it's that first option. You hit that first
Yeah.
option, and yeah.
And
it
then
took
make
me
sure you
like,
install it once it downloads, and you'll be all right. Then come right back in, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, mine improved greatly, man. I have to be honest. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But anyhow, so yeah. Okay. What's coming up? By the way, anything coming up that's of interest to writers? Anybody? Ro, I know you go to a lot of different conferences in Queenie and stuff like that. Anything happening?
There is one that I'm really thinking about because every year I go to the rom-com. I'm probably still going to go to that one, but there's also the Inkers Com, and it's also virtual, but it's focusing this year on the business side of writing, not so much the writing side of writing, business side, the promo and the advertising.
Okay.
Yeah, so I looked at it. It's in July, and usually I get their newsletters. And they usually give you so much free stuff on their newsletters. Like they give you classes, they give you like webinars from different writers, editors, that kind of thing. And every year, and you can also tap into them on YouTube. Last year, they put their entire conference on YouTube. It was a 3-day conference, and the entire thing was on there. I don't know if it's still up there, but I sat and I watched the entire thing. It was so good.
Wow.
Yeah, it gave you a lot of good info. So I think it's like 190 something and you have it for an entire year. And I don't know this year if they're going to put it on YouTube like they did last year. Last year was free. So I'm thinking about, treating myself because I can keep it for a whole year.
Yeah.
Going to that one. So I don't know, how you kind of like not necessarily outgrow, a conference that you've been going to. But do you feel like you need to expand?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm in a debate, but I have to make up my mind soon because summer's coming and I need to, like finance, look at what I pick one thing to go to.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about Inkers Con this year.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Real quickly, yesterday and today, the Pennsylvania Black Conference on Higher Education was here in Harrisburg. And I actually had an opportunity to go to it, but had so many different things going on. So I decided, and I never missed that. I try not to miss that at all, but it's a fantastic conference as well. And they talk, it's education, of course, higher education, but the speakers that they usually have and the workshops and stuff are all worth it. Shanita Baltimore has been on before with us, and she's done some poetry, and Shanita is a graduate of SciTech. But I looked in, they have this fantastic newsletter that they put out. I don't know if you call it a newsletter, so nicely done. And she has this fantastic ad in there where she's taking her business to a whole nother level. Last year she did a virtual workshop, and that was the first time she had ever attended. And the people went crazy for it. Shanita really nailed it. She really knows how to present a workshop and do things. So hats off to her. And I don't know if any of you heard her poetry, but she spoke down at the Civic Club when we did an honoring of their youth. The World Affairs Council does a thing called, it's poetry and storytelling for, high school kids. And then she always brings in poets like myself and Rick Kearns, Maria Chow, Christine Titi, and then also, Shanita Baltimore. Well, out of all of us who read, and we enjoyed, and had a good time and everything, Shanita got up there and blew us away. First off, she sang beautifully. She can absolutely sing. And so part of her poetry presentation was to sing. And then she broke down this piece that was just outstanding in terms of a spoken word piece and, speaking to the issues of the day. So it's just good to see people, develop their own thing and begin to move out. I was pleasantly surprised when I opened that up today to look at their newsletter and then see that big ad of her in there. She does a lot of tutoring with young people, and she's been really good at that. So now, hats off to Shanita Baltimore, but also hats off to the Black Council on Higher Education. I've actually got a chance over the years to do poetry there and all that kind of good stuff. And I do the spiritual service for their youth component on a Sunday. We actually have a throwdown service. In fact, been doing that for years. And they come from all the various colleges and universities, and it's really a big thing. So that was good. I'm sorry I missed it this year, but you know what? Got a lot of things to do. Axel being one of them, Nanette. We got to get that together. We'll be good tomorrow. We'll be fine. By the way, if anyone's never heard of Axel, real quick, we kept referring to it. Axel stands for Afro Academic Cultural Technological Scientific Olympics. We're blessed enough to have Brother Kaba Brunson and Damali Brunson, father and daughter team, who run through the NAACP, not just locally, but throughout the country. And it is a fantastic event. For one thing, we have a wonderful local competition, and then from there, these young people now, they actually get monetary prizes for their participation and everything. Looking good. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. And so then, when they go to nationals, if they win that gold medal, they get a chance to compete against people from around the country. And it really is real competition. I mean, some of these young people get there and they're like blown away. And then some of them get there and realize they're just as good as anybody in the country. We had a gold medalist last year, and that's Madison Stokes. And she was in medicine. And I'm telling you, those programs and presentations that I saw was like, wow, but she won the gold medal. They bring in top-notch doctors and people who really know their stuff. If you're a poet, then they bring in top-notch poets and writers to judge you. And so you don't go in there just half-stepping. So we walked away with two medals and one $10,000 prize winner. The young lady wrote an essay and got a $10,000 scholarship to college. The other young lady who's going to compete again this year from Milton Hershey School, she did an African dance. And it turns out that she and her mother, her family's from Africa. And then when she did the dance, not only did she do the dance, she explained the nature of the dance and how she was honoring her mother, who was sitting in the audience. And she said, this is what would happen if I returned from college or someplace and I wanted to pay homage to my mother. I would do this in front of the entire village. And it almost brought tears to your eyes, the way she presented that thing, and she got into it. And Mom was just sitting there like regal, just looking. Mom knew what was going on. We didn't until she said that. I was like, wow, So those young people from Harrisburg area, they showed out. It was good. It was good. So that's going to take place tomorrow, right, Nanette? We're going to be there, figuring it all out. And then hopefully we'll have some gold medalists, and we'll be going over to, where are we going? We're going to Boston, Massachusetts this year for the Nationals. Yeah. Go ahead, Nanette, you're going to say something.
Yeah, I want to know the time. I don't know what.
Well, we all do. Well, that's going to come through to your computer in a little bit here. That's still working out. Okay. What happened though is, and it was a good thing, because some young people are still working on their projects and they got them a little bit later. So we held off, turning in the times and stuff because we had to still factor in all these different people, and we opened up the gates so that some of those projects that were late, we still accepted them because we want these young people to be successful. But that's throwing the judges off this year, and this is the first time this has happened where it's been this late. But it's still going to be a good competition and everything. It's just a matter of making sure you get the times. Generally, and I will tell you just from past experience, even when we did it virtually, we usually start around 9, and I'm not sure when we're going to start this year, but around 9, and then we go up to maybe about 12. So anywhere between 9 and 12 is probably the best bet. There may be a category or two that has more entrants, and they may go a little bit longer, but I would say anywhere between 9 and 12, you could probably count on doing your thing. Yeah.
And I also didn't know how many contestants are, participating in my group.
And you have, which in your group is, what's your category?
Contemporary music.
Yeah, you don't have a lot.
No.
You're singing, right? I think you
Yeah,
have 3
we're
at this
singing.
point. I think you have 3 at this point.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I already saw 2 already.
Yeah, I think, well, there should be 3 that came to you. I know that another judge said they had, 3. So at least 3. And that's another thing. Sometimes we have probably, let's say we had 60 young people sign up, but we probably have 33 that actually follow through and send their stuff in. So, they get cold feet or whatever, they decide to back out. Because it looked as if you was going to have a lot of singers and then, 8 or 9, let's put it that way. But I think you're at 3 at this point. So we'll
And
see.
on the score sheet, it doesn't say how many points are supposed to be. Like this sample sheet was like 25 for technical and clarification and phrasing and.
But that is the, was that for your area though? That wasn't for
No,
your
that
area?
was for dance, for ballet,
Right,
but I don't have it on my sheet.
Well, we'll have to get, when you get the actual sheet, which is Damali's sending out, Damali Brunson, who's the co-chair, she's sending out all of that stuff. It'll come directly to you and you'll see that you have, it'll tell you what the score, what the breakdown is.
Okay.
All right. Neil, what's going on, man? You have anything that's popping down that way? Anything exciting, interesting, in North Carolina?
No,
Come on.
no, there's a bunch of Trumpers, man, running around with their, with
They're
their
ready to act up. You know
bumper
that, right?
stickers and everything, and their pride.
Yeah. Woo. They
A
just
lot of
said
that
that
in
he
North
lost
Carolina,
it.
man. A lot of that.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I'm sure down in North Carolina too. Woo. They just said he lost a major battle today. That his attorneys he cannot hide behind attorney privilege, client attorney privilege, right?
But it's just think about how long this thing has been, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, my God, man. I mean, this is just. I mean.
You know why?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but here's
my
the
God.
crazy part. How about all those people that's in jail right now, though? He's the one that stirred everything up. They go down there locked up. They're the ones in jail.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he it's crazy, man. It's just, hey. I mean, what we are seeing, though, I mean, what this country is all about, man. I mean, this is some real serious stuff, man. And this, they trying to go back, man. They trying to go back to Jim Crow, they trying to go back that way.
Don't look now, but
DeSantis
out of Florida, and then this other dude out of Texas. Who's the governor down in Texas? I don't know that dude's name. But these people serious, man. They trying, like you said, turn the clock back.
Yeah, they are, man.
I mean,
this is just real, man. This is just real stuff happening.
Yeah.
And I still get a sense that a lot of folks, man, don't really realize what's really going on.
Yeah.
Right. And the people and our people, man, we definitely should know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a little bit encouraged because when George Floyd was murdered in plain sight, I mean, a whole bunch of people said, I have to give the world credit, man. Folks stood up.
Oh yeah, they did.
And I think that's what's going to happen again. It's not going to be a murder this time. It's just going to be people just going to be fed up and had enough. And it's like, you know what? No, enough. And when DeSantis gets on that nationwide stage running for president, and he started all that rhetoric he's throwing out there, come on now. People are going to react. At least they should. you know.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
I mean, they should, man. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't have the kind of faith in the people that a lot of people have, man. The people, man, are. I mean, they're vulnerable, man. They're vulnerable.
Mhm.
They're vulnerable to a like I said. There's a reason why this country recognizes April Fool's Day. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, it's on the calendar. It's called All Fools Day.
Mhm.
I mean, that's serious, man. All Fools Day.
Serious.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how they survive, because they basically pull the wool over people's eyes, and they've been doing it for the longest time,
Mhm.
and they still doing it. And it just, huh? What somebody say?
No, it was me. I hit my phone.
Oh,
Oh. Mhm. I heard something too. I'm like, uh-oh. Invasion. That's funny.
I think eventually, I think Trump is causing his own demise.
I agree.
So there's people that's fallen, away from him, It may not look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what it is, but his mouth, his mouth and him saying
Yeah.
different stuff. He gonna cause his own death.
Yes, you're so
He
right. Then
should.
that they said that right before we came on tonight on the news, they said that he made some comments today that people said, oh, that's very dangerously close to inciting riot and stuff. And they said he has to be real careful because he thinks he can get away with anything, saying anything. They said whatever he said today, I didn't hear it. That it was something that made even guys like, his closest allies, and it was like, whoa, pull back on that, because that's getting a little bit too incendiary. I mean, he got away with it on January the 6th, at least he think he did. He incited those people.
I think one of the things he said was if he gets
indicted.
yeah, that it's gonna be a lot of deaths and killing.
That's,
something like
I
that.
think I did hear that. Yes, yeah. And it's like, whoa, what are you saying, man?
Yeah.
You calling for people to go out there and kill people?
Trying to bring it up, like
Yeah.
y'all go out there and kill for me.
Mhm.
yeah, and they'll do it too.
There you go.
The fools out there, yep.
And
Yeah,
they proved
do
that
it.
by
They do it
January
too,
the
man.
6th.
Hey,
Yeah,
they are.
they
Yeah,
went
I
down
mean,
there
we saw what happened. We saw what
Mhm.
happened on January 6th. We saw it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
mean,
listen, they were calling for Pelosi, calling for the vice president.
yeah.
They were calling for everybody.
I mean, they actually built a gallows, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, check that out, man. They built a gallows,
Yes, they
man.
did. Mhm.
Okay. I mean, this was real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we said, man, it was real, man. They had a gallows. I mean, these people are crazy, man. They wild, and they are wow. And
Yeah,
they are
They
ready,
found
man.
bags of guns. They found, explosives.
Yeah.
Not far
they
away.
want
These
it,
guys,
man.
they were ready.
And the little young girl from Harrisburg, she only got 3 years, and they still haven't found Pelosi's computer. She only got 3 years for and she said she was young and foolish. Yeah, well, she went
Yeah.
for that, January 6th thing.
Mhm.
She got charged today or yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday she got 3 years. Yep.
But they
Yeah,
don't
that was
talk
kind
much
of light
about.
based on what we know. Mhm.
They don't talk much about the day before when Kamala Harris, man, they found a bomb where she was at.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know.
And they found a bomb at that building, and she was in the building
Mm.
when they find the bomb. I mean, you supposed to have all that done before you
Right.
go into a building.
Mhm.
Right.
She goes into the building. She's the vice president, and she goes
Yeah.
into the building, and there's a bomb already there.
That's something.
And it was actually placed it was outside the building, but was placed over in the area where she was headed, where she was at, actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But see, I mean, that's another thing that's down, but that's I mean, how did that happen? How does that happen, man?
It may have been an inside job, man.
How does the
Mhm.
Secret Service miss that, man? How does that?
Or maybe they didn't miss it.
I
But
seen
I'm
it,
just
man.
saying.
I know. I seen firsthand, man. Because when I was working with the Boys and Girls Clubs, I was executive for the Boys and Girls Clubs, and Obama came to visit us with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
And we, you know, it was very tight security, at least it was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And only certain people supposed to have been in the area where Obama was at. And actually, the person he was the president of our board, who was, you know, I oversaw our board of directors. He was the president of our board, but I didn't have him on the list, man. He was not supposed to be in there. He's a white dude. Okay, and he showed up in there, and I was like, "How did you get in here?" You know, I mean, I guess he was pissed off because I didn't have him on the list. But the bottom line is that he got in there, man.
Right. Could have been the assassin.
Yeah, he could have been an assassin. But he got in there in the same room with Obama. Okay, where I'm at. I'm in the same room. I mean, I ain't talking about I'm talking about in the same room. And it's not a real big room.
Yeah. That's called the message.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is what I'm saying. So this is, that's some firsthand stuff. So I seen it, man. Firsthand knowledge. I've seen it. So I understand what these people are working on. And this is some bad stuff, man. And,
well, you know, but your novels, man, your novels speak to this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Tell us about your novel. The latest novel you're working on.
Oh, the one I'm working on now is Rise of the Fourth Reich. And that deals with a lot of stuff, man, that, you know, we really don't like connecting those dots. You know, it started connecting the dots and you start saying, what is this all about? You know, and you know, it's like Roger Stone, like this stuff goes back, man, to Nixon. Okay. It goes back to Nixon and Watergate and all of that. And those people were Germans, man. They're all Germans. Haldeman, Ehrlichman, they're all German. Kissinger, all of them were German. You know, Alexander Haig was the secretary of he was what's Bach Meadows' name? He was chief of staff for Nixon. And nobody mentioned when Reagan got shot and Alexander Haig, who was the Secretary of State, said, "I am in charge" in the news conference in front of the whole world. He said, "I am in charge." That's what he said. But Reagan was in the hospital. They thought Reagan was going to die. These people were ready to take over the country. He said, "I am in charge." Where was the vice president? Where was Daddy Bush at? You know? I mean, this is what happened. I mean, this is like real stuff. It's happening in real time. And it's right there in front of our face. And these people, man, are serious and they haven't slowed down none. And that's why they keep recycling all these people. You wonder where Alexander Haig come from. He was just recycled and they just keep recycling these folks. And under Trump and all of them, I mean, these people are Germans, man. They are Nazis.
So as writers, one of the things that happens is, you know, we, you know, have these kind of conversations, dialogues, and, you know, there's a lot of, you know, people out there with different theories and that kind of stuff. But as writers, do we write about it? You know, do we do articles? Do we, you know, that kind of thing? Ro, you write powerful stuff, Ro. I know yours isn't so much, you know, political as much as it is sort of like family dynamics, community kind of thing. But have you thought of crossing over into some of this reality kind of craziness that's going on? Do you ever? Well, let me ask you: do you ever include some of that in your books and in your stories? Some of the stuff that's happening.
Now it all depends on what I'm writing. I feel like the piece that I just read crossed over to a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of like reading between the lines of what I was saying. I won't go into like all of it, you know, because I think poetry gives you that, I don't know, creative liberty of I don't want to say glossing over, but saying things in a poetic form that you know in your head where you're going. But I also think that, you know, when I write novellas or novels, I really sometimes I want to escape. I have a novel on my computer now that's about a police brutality case. And I'm not even really sure what to do with it. You know, I approached a traditional publisher with it and they liked it. I approached a literary agent and they liked it. And one I got a lot of feedback from was it's kind of edgy, and we don't know if we want to tackle that kind of edginess.
Sure.
So part of it is like, I think it's a now story, and I started writing it when we were really locked down in COVID. And I was sitting in the, watching the news about, the whole Floyd case. And I was angry. I was like a lot of people, I was angry. And I kept thinking, I wasn't so much thinking about, the events surrounding his death. I was thinking about the aftermath of with his family. He had a young daughter, and just watching that. And that's what inspired me on to write this book. And when I finished it, it was almost very cathartic for me. After I wrote it, I felt like it was a cleansing agent for the frustration I felt because of what was happening in African-American communities.
So you were somewhat inspired. You got inspired to write.
Yeah. And a lot of the poems I write are through things I could just sit and watch 10 minutes of the news and just be like, like this whole thing that's happening with Trump, I can't even watch it anymore. I mean, and today one of the kids wrote a story about Trump Towers. And after watching just a little bit of what was happening with Trump, I was like, where are we going with this? I literally took his story and had to put it under like the bottom of the pile, because after coming home and watching the news and seeing everything that's happening, it was like, it's affecting our youth. It's affecting what they're thinking, how they're thinking, and why they're thinking it.
Can I go back to your book though? You said you wrote this book and you kind of, got to some agents. So that book is finished but not published?
It's not published. It's just sort of sitting on my computer this summer. And I think I have just been so incredibly busy that I have started working on so many other things. And it's one of those things that like I keep going back to saying, wow, I really need to do something with this book, and I have this whole advertising platform for it. But it's a time thing. I know when I really delve into really getting this book published, it's not even published and it's almost 60,000 words. So publishing it will bring it close to over 300 pages. And I know when I go back into it, I probably will add at least another, I don't know, maybe another couple thousand words to it, because there's so much more stuck in my head now that I've been away from it. So I keep thinking, for me to publish it and do what I want to, it's going to cost me a few bucks to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very hesitant to do it, because I got a kid in college that I'm sort of supporting along the way.
Sort of.
Have you thought about going to Amazon, through the Amazon? Terry Martinez does a lot of work for a lot of people in the area, and she goes through Amazon and they bring out quality books and blah, blah, blah. They do,
I definitely, and that's the thing. I think it's because I'm so close to the story. I probably would go to like somebody that I really know. You know how hard, I love to edit. And remember, I was talking to you before. I said, I think that's part of the thing that I would really love to get into is probably developmental editing, not so much copy editing, because I feel like I can go really in depth with someone else's story. So I do, eventually I am going to get into like developmental editing. And that the reason why I want to do that is because of this story, because I've been writing it for so long. And every time I go back to it, sometimes I don't visit it. I haven't visited it since school started. And I go back, I watch something on the news and it's like, oh, yeah, I need to add that. So I keep adding it. It's going to be like a 600 word book. So, or 6,000 pages. And I I don't know.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
And it keeps changing and I keep molding it into something else,
But Neil, you write novels, so think about that for a minute. How do you stay focused? How do you stay, how do you know how your book is going to end? How do you not keep revisiting and do what Ro just mentioned? Just keep adding to it.
I agree with Ro. I do a lot what Ro do. I mean, sometimes just let something sit. And it's like on the book I'm working on now, I haven't wrote anything on it for 2 months now. And actually it's going on 3 months. So sometimes, and sometimes you don't force anything. Just go with what you feeling, what's right, what's the time.
Mhm.
And I believe that's what you should do. I don't try to rush force anything, whatever. If I'm not feeling it, then to me, it's a message from God to chill and relax and relate. And then He want me to move forward, and I'll do that.
And I think your characters really have to speak to you. And at the time I was writing this book, it was in the middle of COVID. I wasn't going anywhere. All I had was to sit in front of the television and watch what was happening in the world, and especially in our communities. And it's like now there's so many other things, like we've gone so far, like COVID still exists, but we're not captured by what's happening in the world like we were before. So I think it has its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that when you hear the stories being developed and this and that, have you had any urge to write a book?
No, I haven't. I don't know why. I just haven't. I mean, I've been busy too. And I guess if I
So what's your medium then? Yeah, I'm sorry. So what is your medium? You rather write poetry, short stories? When you think about yourself writing something, what kind of comes to your mind?
Well, it would be short poetry. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have to have some kind of inspiration or that thought process too. Yeah. That brings me to it. Yeah.
But you did a heck of a job on that piece where you do the enslavement songs. So that's what I call them. I don't call them slave songs, but the enslavement period songs. And then you have dialogue to that.
Yeah, that came to me, and that came to me pretty easy. Yeah.
Well, let's do this here. Let's cut break. We always ask Chris to do these videos, and I don't want to sell him short on those. The first one was outstanding. It was a good piece. Brother Chris, if you could show us the second video for tonight, we'd appreciate that.
Cute.
Black Lives Matter. How many more hearts need to shatter before we turn the page and start a new chapter? Slavery was abolished. They printed that in the news. But the headlines I'm reading show that that is far from the truth, because people are still captive to their skin color, of which none of us can choose. How much more blood needs to be spilled? Will Smith said racism is not getting worse, it's just getting filmed. That's because this is not the first time that a black person has been killed. It's happened over and over and over again. They say repetition is like the definition of insanity. So what is that saying? This world is broken and it needs to change. This has been happening since the beginning of the age, since Abel and Cain. They even killed Jesus when he came. If I could take off my skin and leave it at the door and you couldn't see color anymore, would hearts be worth fighting for? I understand the thought that may cross some minds, the thought of, I don't need this in my life. But if you live in this age and time, then you cannot not fight. It shouldn't be a privilege to have skin that is white. And I recognize that if any one of us stays silent, then we all lose this fight. Because ignoring it is as bad as condoning, looking away the same. Because at the end of the day, when God calls your name, what will you say? God, I chose to look away? Because that probably won't cut it on Judgment Day. And choosing not to take part is a choice, but it will result in more broken hearts if we don't learn how to use our voice. So I'm calling on every color to make some noise in the direction of racism. Now is not the time to be afraid or complacent. Now is the time to stand on the same side as this statement. Black Lives Matter. Raise your hands to God, wave them like a banner, and surrender to Him. Because we cannot win this fight separate from Him. The one that was killed, 3 nails and a hammer. He is more relatable than you might imagine. Our God is a God of color. Born in the Middle East, He was not white as many may believe. Jesus, Son of God, they called Him the Prince of Peace. Something we know little about, but desperately need. This cannot become another forgotten headline. This is the point where we all need to rise and draw the line. So what does change look like in your mind? I believe the answers are in the Word of God, and they have been there this whole time. I may be wrong, but I don't think that it is a lack of answers or not knowing what to do, but a lack of action and application of the truth. Jesus said this, "A new commandment I give to you, love one another as I have loved you." If you are a believer, then this is the truth, and it is this truth that we need to choose. The Bible says God made from one man every nation. There is neither Greek nor Jew, slave nor free, male nor female. So what do you see? I believe God is painting a picture of unity. We need not look at ourselves to find the answers, but we must be compelled to take our chances on the God of love, peace, a sound mind. To some, this may not sound fine, but if you don't believe in Jesus, then tell me this: do you believe in love? Because they are one and the same. And for this reason Jesus came, to heal our brokenness and set captives free. We need only reminisce on our history to see that racism never ends happily. We all know of a great man that once spoke of a dream. Let this generation be the one where that dream is finally seen.
Good piece. That's good. Yeah.
That was
Welcome,
true.
Lizelle. How you doing?
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Hi.
All right, how you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
spoke truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where do you think she's from?
Sounded like United Kingdom.
I was thinking that too. And then
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sound British.
Interesting.
Very good,
Mm-hmm. Very good.
very knowledgeable, insightful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Made you think.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Lizelle, did you write anything and you're going to share tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
That's wonderful. Okay, we will get to you then. Yes, indeed.
Probably
Welcome.
fresh off the presses.
What'd you say, Ro?
Probably fresh off the presses.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But Ro wrote something tonight. It was pretty powerful. Go ahead, Neil. Mhm.
No,
Okay. Lizelle, did you want to read a piece now?
Yeah, I could read it.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mhm.
It's called Why the Black Woman.
Ooh.
Just finished writing it.
Yeah, I think she was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Why the Black woman that think her worth is not recognized? Why her mothers and daughters struggle, fight? Why grandmothers be mothers taking care of each other, taking care of life, her strength, her goals? Why sisters break down each other till dry bones are no more? Why society call us slut, call us slave? Why cast eyes, point fingers at yourself? Why treat her like trash? Why the Black woman tries to represent herself? She represents the big picture. Pain saw and ridiculed her. She is a misfit in a tight ship. The Black woman tries hard to clear her name, but what would it gain? She see and talk, no, see her and talk to her. She is Mother Earth. She is the dark, rich, dark soil which her feet are planted on. She is growth. She's strength. Reward her. Don't strike her. She's the tree. She's planted. She's rooted. Save the Black woman. Save her strength. She is blessed and highly favored, highly recommended. When her mouth opens, when your mouth opens, give her praise because she needs it. That's it.
Right.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Hot off the presses.
Yeah,
All right.
it was good.
Yeah. Mhm. I like when you read your pieces with power too. That's good. Thank you. Mhm.
but you had a lot of energy in that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I noticed you had a lot of energy in that one. And,
Like,
and
I tell you, I was doing a painting. Let me just get a piece that I just want to show you all what I did.
There's some beautiful paintings.
I did this one last night.
Wow.
yeah,
It was good.
That is
Oh.
nice.
I was doing another piece there, and then why the black woman came into my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, why the black woman? What happened to the black woman? And then the words just start going. So I said, you know what? Let me get on here and get that. I started doing I see the time going, and I just.
Have you thought about doing a show with your paintings and your poetry?
Yeah, I want to. It's just, I don't know. I'm just going in that direction with these pieces. I had one, I have a few pieces like that with mother and daughter, like a, you know, I don't know if I think I showed it. I'm not sure if I did. Let me just get it quick. I don't want to keep you all back.
That is, I mean, those are some good, beautiful paintings.
Yeah, that one she's.
That's another gift.
Really? Yeah. And there are some poetry things where people actually are painting as you're doing the poetry. Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if I showed you all this piece. I showed you all this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
nice.
On
So you don't have a picture or anything, it's just in your mind
It's in my mind.
and you just paint.
Put it on the canvas, yeah.
Ain't that something?
And tell me about that piece. That looked like two faces there.
Yeah, mother and daughter.
Oh, mother and daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is like she's transforming, like a bird flying, and she's like a transformation. So you're seeing a bird
eagle.
wing, you're seeing her, you're seeing life, you're seeing a flight, you're seeing she has a stuff on her head.
Yes, that is nice.
You know, it's just like all, but this is I did this one, but you know, this was another piece that I did.
That's
She
nice.
represent, it could mean anything. It could be a volcano erupting, a black woman. It could mean so many different things.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, I didn't notice the
How
volcano.
about that?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
could be,
They erupt.
it's really her clothes, but it could be transformed into a volcano.
Yes,
I just noticed the volcano.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I just was going with these, I don't know where it's going, but it's just what I get in my head to put on a canvas. So I said, like, maybe this should be a team, you know, or something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and do a poetry with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That is good.
that is good. Yeah, yeah. You display your works anywhere at all? The paintings?
Well, one of them is in a gallery, as I think I mentioned that last week, I'm not sure. One of the paintings is in a gallery. I don't have it here. The gallery is running right now. So it finishes at the end of April. But they have a get-together event next week, Friday. So
Nice. Good for you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I'm trying to see if I could enter them as much, you know, in galleries and open calls and stuff.
I could see it going someplace. Yes. That's nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thanks.
Ro, I was supposed to throw the baton to you tonight. I forgot all about it. I mentioned that last week. So,
Yeah, you could keep it. I was just enjoying the
well,
conversation.
me too. Yeah, I got caught up.
Casualness of it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, indeed. Well, we were talking about what's going on up in the New York area. Is there anything coming up? Any events or activities coming up?
There's so much going on, but I have to follow on the news. I haven't really checked out, you know, much, you know, just normal news, normal talk. I know the trains, they are trying to make it easier for people, you know, because they changed the train system, changed the routes and stuff. So people were complaining about overcrowding. So I guess they're trying to make it more easier.
Oh, but I know you've been going to different events for writers and, you know, now you got your paintings, that kind of thing. Anything like that coming up in the cultural sense?
There is one event that I was supposed to, I think is on the 14th and the 15th of April in a mall. They have like a flea market, like a, you know, so most likely I'll be there.
Or you could sell those paintings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I planned. And I was asked to do a sip and paint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That's about it, basically.
Mhm.
Well, write some poetry with those paintings.
Yeah, I will. After once the word come,
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it, put it in a video or something.
Yeah.
Especially that volcano.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah,
When she first held it up, I was thinking it was a necklace until you
me
held it
too.
up the second
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I was thinking like an Indian,
Yeah,
African inspired
exactly.
necklace. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Hey, we had talked about possibly doing a conference. Ro, you mentioned about a conference that you're going to that's virtual and that kind of thing. Isn't it time that we sponsor a conference, write a
Oh,
workshop, and do it online?
uh-huh.
I think we should do that. We have enough firepower right here, just on the screen tonight, to have workshops. Anywhere from the novel to writing poetry to using historical data and singing, as Nanette does. The poetry, of course, with Lucille. Both novelists. From Roe and then Neil. And then there's others. You have a guy like Dr. Dan Snowden, who's not on tonight, but he has his own unique style. He could talk about, using poetry the way he does. This is that we could look at,
Telling
Yeah.
him he needs to write children's books,
Who's that?
Dr. Snowden.
He
I
really
just-
should.
Yeah, I
think-
can
yeah.
see it, like kids just like really loving science.
Mhm. I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, he that's his thing. It could be his thing. Yeah, no
Especially
question
his
about it.
delivery. Kids, elementary kids would really love him.
That's right. It would.
His poetry.
Yeah. And we could bring on someone like Terry who does publishing and refer T-Dub Publishing and stuff like that. And she's learned a lot and she's been doing a lot with it lately.
He had over 50 poems. Like, has he ever thought of publishing them? We
You
need
talking
to
about
encourage
Dan
him.
Snowden? Oh
He
yeah,
did.
he
Like
talked
50
about it,
months.
but he never has.
Yeah,
he
you
really
just
should.
keep encouraging
Mhm.
him.
Mhm. We had a young man who passed away, and I was able to participate in his funeral. And he's come to the workshop over the years. You may not remember him, but his name is Michael Irving. And Michael, good guy, but he was a real troubled soul, so to speak. And ended up dying relatively young. Michael was not even 40, I don't think. But anyhow, a brilliant guy, good student at one time, really good basketball player a whole bit, but then something went awry. And he began to just do things that made no sense whatsoever. And eventually, his life was taken due to drug and all that kind of stuff. You never know. He had so much stuff in the system. But he was a gifted guy. And my kids went to school with him. And I remember meeting Michael through them. And then my boys, and then this journey with him. His mother is Darlene Irving, and she's a marvelous person here in our community. Goes over to Greater Zion, but she, she like everyone else was hurt when Michael passed, and he just couldn't do anything. So one of the things I said was I wanted to. He had a lot of poetry. It was kind of stuff that was out there. It was more spoken word than poetry. Let's put it that way. But anyhow, it was unique. It was his voice. And I said, I would love to see the Writers Workshop publish his works. And so I challenged her to kind of pull them together and, maybe get them typed up and all that kind of stuff. And then we could figure out a way to get them published. Well, I would just talk to Terry and we can make that happen. But that's a charge that I'm hoping we can pull off that. And maybe we can do like an anthology based around his works, you know what I mean? Honoring him, but also bringing others into the fold. So it's just something to think about. I hope we can keep that promise. We were about to do it by the end of last year, but I knew that was going to be too quick because I think his funeral was it was in September, October. So I knew that was going to be too quick. But anyhow, let's make it happen this year. Make it happen this year. Speaking of which, go ahead.
I have a question. My brother, Odell, he passed away and he was a writer. He wrote songs. And I happened to come across these 6 songs that he had wrote. He had wrote one for the Scott White family tree. How do I get this like copy written? Can I do that?
Mhm.
but I don't have the music. I was gonna ask Larry Colbert if he could put music to these words, all these songs that I have here. And I know he had a folder or something. His ex-wife might have it, I don't know. But anyway, I was wondering how I go about getting these copywritten or something.
Well, I heard you say, so you sound like
I was gonna give you if I can find it now because oh, wait a minute. I don't know if she still works there. She worked in actually like copyright registration.
Mm-hmm.
And the character that I did for my children's book is actually a trademark copyright character. I had it copyrighted. No one else can be Ida B. Marbles.
Right.
Yeah, and she worked in the copyright registration office downtown, and I just gave her all my paperwork and gave her the fee, and she processed it for me.
nice.
Yeah,
So what building?
that's what I'm looking up. Where is the
Oh.
building at? Because she goes to my church. She retired and she was working there part-time, and I knew she was working there. And I said, "What do you need to do to copyright?" And she says, just give me the information. And I just gave it to her, and she got it back to me. So she's copyrighted. They sent me the information back.
You know what the fee was?
It wasn't that much. It was like under $50.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, it's not that much to copyright something.
you can go online and copyright. You can go to the Library of Congress
Yes, the Library of Congress.
and get it copyrighted. Basically depends on what it is. I mean, it's my novels was like $65,
Uh-huh.
but you definitely want to get it. You go online, you can go online and sign up because you gotta get a username, put all that, do all that, and you can just do everything online.
Okay.
And they will communicate with you if there's a problem with anything. They will communicate back with you, because I had to, when I got my screenplay copyrighted.
Yeah, I have all my plays copyrighted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you had a place downtown. I'd rather if I could go,
Yeah, but
in
this was years
person.
ago. You can do it all online now. Like I said, I just knew she worked in the copyright registration office, and I just filled out the form, and she said, just fill out the form and give it to me. And she's just
Oh.
expedited it for me because she worked in that office. But you can do it all online.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Just-
problems doing stuff online.
Oh, just go to copyright registration.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, and it'll pull up the form. It'll ask you for the information. There's a couple questions you have to fill out, and it doesn't really take that long.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's about the price, Neil, that I paid for each play was like somewhere between the copyright trademark was under 50, but the trademark or the copyright for play was like 65 for each
So how
one.
many pages was that? Like,
It would only turn out to be one page.
oh,
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to send the entire document. You just did like for copyright for a play. I didn't send the play itself. I just sent, they ask you certain questions about it.
oh, because I have like 6 songs here on,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a form to fill
individual.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Did we lose Giselle? She's gone completely, huh?
No, I see her on there.
Giselle? I don't see her.
Well, I
Maybe
see
she's
her
not-
name still up there. She's just,
I
yeah,
don't see her name.
yeah, her name's still there.
Her name is still
Okay.
Yeah,
there.
she's muted. And her picture's muted. But, okay.
So, yeah. So, yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad she's still with us. Let's ask Brother Chris. You've knocked it out the park so far with some great videos. We're going to ask you to do at least one more tonight. I know you usually bring up 4. I think we've seen 2 so far, right? I think we saw 2 or 3 anyhow.
I've seen
Let's see the
2,
next
yeah.
video. Check that out.
Often I sit down and I think about the things we've been through. And I say to myself, what else we have to do? We survived the boat ride, the beatings and the hangings, but still we are still standing, still swinging. I know they've gotten their doctors and their scholars together and wondered how on earth have they survived and why come it seems like everything they touch turns to gold. Well, here's your answer. God blessed our souls. They've gotten their scientists to research the four corners of the earth, and they discovered that we were here first. Check the world over, survey the entire land, and you will find not one, no, not one that compares to that black woman and that black man. No, don't get me wrong, I am not saying we are better than, but we are most definitely not equal. You see, I truly believe there's something special about black people. Is it the way we run and jump, or could it be the way we sing and dance? Or is it the way we praise our God when we raise our hands? You have no right to tell me to shut my mouth and say nothing. I come from the seed that built this country. It saddens my heart when I think about my ancestors, their blood and their sweat, and how I hold my hands in front of me and realize I'm not free yet. They say you shouldn't fear nothing but God. That's why you won't let me be, because you recognize that God in me. But oh, one of these days, and it won't be long, you're gonna stand before my Father to answer all your wrong. Despite your ancestors' efforts and all their evil, surely by now I know you know there's something special about black people. 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 There's something special.
I believe
That's
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Oh, there she goes. Okay. All right. Comments on the piece? Anybody?
Yeah, that's. I mean, hey, and he's an elderly brother delivering a message, man, that radiates throughout time, the past, present, and future, and all of that. And they deliver. And there's something special about black people. And it is, man. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just. I mean, it just is. I mean, it just is. I mean, it's not, you know, not to offend anybody, man, but, you know, Jesus was a black man. I mean, that's what he was. You know, I mean, it's like he came out of Nazareth, so that's where, you know, Samson had locks. That's where locks come from and all that. That's what that was their culture, man. Dreadlocks, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that.
He said he had hair like wool.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, come on, there's no getting around that. I mean, there's only one people on the earth like with hair like wool. I mean, it's just and also Revelation, his feet was as if it was like fine brass, as if it had been burnt in the furnace. Man, that's some deep stuff, man. I mean, it's just that's what it is, man. We keep running around, nobody want to talk about the facts. I mean, let's just lay it out, man, like it is. That's what it is. You know, and so there's something special about black people. It ain't no question about that. I mean, I think when we really realize who we are, you know, it's gonna unfortunately, I'm afraid that a lot of people are gonna run away from who they really are.
I like the way you start off and said he's an elderly brother too. It wasn't like he, you know, just one of these young boys out here.
Yeah.
Rapping. No, he's throwing down. That's refreshing.
Age, yeah.
He looks seasoned and experienced.
Yeah. Wisdom. That's what it is. Wisdom, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, he knowledge. He laying it out, man. I mean, hey. And all that spoken word, all that, man. I mean, it's just knowledge is just being laid out, man. How can you not embrace that? I mean, just hearing it, man. I mean, that's. I mean, there it is, man. Just
amazing stuff. Yeah.
Powerful stuff, man. Very powerful stuff.
Bro, did you want to read another piece tonight?
Sure.
Mhm.
I guess I'm in the mood for similes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Here's another one using the word like. I've read this before. Like when, WHEN, not like WIN. I need to grab hold of everything that pushes me down and push back. Like when you walk into a room and they turn their heads wondering if your melanin will make a stain on their interior. Like when mothers have pressed their oppressed beliefs into the pretty blonde heads of their baby girls. When they only want to dance and wear pretty dresses and carry their colorless teddy bears and hold onto their barren, innocent minds. Like when you bring your wares to the table of opportunity and you are told that your feet don't reach the floor even when you sit up straight, so you slouch. Like when you see your pennies falling, but not from heaven, becoming smaller each day as they become absorbed into a politically twisted society where old presidents incite injustice on Capitol hills that cause us all to fall into distressed valleys. Like when kids sit in classrooms forgetting that education comes with no cost, but cost them the pain of using dormant gray cells to keep out of jail cells. Like when the cost of living costs more than living itself, and the steps of the poor are laden with the promises of good paying jobs that take them to the land of good living, but only lead to the temple of despair and foreclosure. Like when we all see the ending of a good thing like Black love, we cry a good cry and hold our words in, never voicing the pain of jealousy, envy, and hate. Like when we feel like we have failed, never seeing that failure is nothing more than getting off the boat at the wrong dock, where we sit watching both the tide and time roll away. These things make me feel like when.
Like when?
Like when?
Love that.
Like when? WIND.
No, like WHEN, when, like
Oh,
when will this happen? When will this not happen? When will it stop? Like when?
We all are asking that question. When?
Yeah.
Because you were talking about politics. There is some politics in that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure there is, absolutely. Huh. Yeah,
And you know when I
that's
wrote
a
that,
good piece. I like that. Mhm. Go ahead. Mhm. What you saying that?
No, that was Roe, I think.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What
I
you said,
said,
bro?
you know when I wrote that one.
Tell us.
Oh, well,
He said
think about what I said about like the day becomes absorbed into a politically twisted society when old presidents incite injustice on Capitol hills that cause us all to fall into distressed valleys.
Okay, all right. Okay, January 6th, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that time, I was watching the news.
Mhm. Mhm. Well said, though. Well said. Good stuff.
Can you hear that car? You don't hear that car, right?
No.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with that car. It's electrical something out there and it keeps blowing, the horn blows
Yeah.
until I guess somebody comes out or does something with their key, but it's been doing that for a while.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway.
I haven't heard it all night. Yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
it was good. Yeah. Giselle, read another piece for us.
I didn't have anything.
That's okay. That's cool.
Let me just dig in the archives. Hold on.
If you find something, let me know. Yeah. How about you? Oh my goodness. Look, I can't even call her name. Nanette, come on now. I'm just tired, boy. I was up 4 o'clock this morning messing with that doggone axle. Then I had to get up at 7 o'clock. I was like, I've been dragging all day. It is what it is. But
more.
Yeah, I was pulling stuff out. I guess it was after 1 o'clock.
I kept sending stuff out, trying to get it together. I don't know, boy. We gotta work on this thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'll go back on and check and see if they sent anything after I get off of here, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But someone said I just looked at my phone here and someone said that they went on the website and they saw times and everything listed, but I think that was something she was just playing with because she told me specifically not to send out the times because those weren't necessarily corrected, So when we get off, I'll be checking as well to see what's going on, where we are, where we stand. But I just hope that tomorrow we are moving and it's smooth and we get done what we get done and we just keep on, My biggest concern right now for those persons that don't know is the NAACP AXO competition locally here in Harrisburg. It goes on all over the country, but we do ours on March the 25th, which is tomorrow. And then let's thought about something. April the 8th, we'll be having our, our celebration down at the Whitaker Center for Science and the Arts, and it should be a really fine time. And that's when we announce who the medalists are, because all the kids are winners, so we don't say winners or losers, anything like that, but who the medalists are, and how many may be going to Boston, Massachusetts, and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's Neil talking to his dogs.
Yeah.
Them boys, man.
You got to hit on mute. Yeah.
You don't have to, worry about me visiting you, brother. You got I'm staying right here in Harrisburg. Sheesh.
Yeah, you heard about that woman that got mauled by those Great Danes. She went over to her neighbor's house, babysitting the neighbor's dogs.
Wow.
And the 2 Great Danes killed her.
Damn.
That sounds exactly like the same story about the woman and the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
That a few years ago.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, even time to think about that thing. Yeah, chimpanzees are a strong animal, boy.
Yeah, they are, man.
Yeah, tore her apart. So, Lazille, did you find anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you read that for us?
This is one I read already, but I end up putting more to it.
Okay.
So this is the new version.
Good. Okay.
All right, it's called She's Royal. One day to cry and say, yes, we made it, but we are not there yet. Holding hands like entwined wool, of all shapes, colors, size, and textures, black, brown, white, and in between. Cry the same cry, shed the same tears. Strong and resilient, we glow and shine through pain with hidden fears. Giving birth to creation as burden bearers. We hear, listen, and speak with soft tones. We are the comforters. We are the head, rest, and shoulders to cry on. We are the laps to use as pillows for stories and lullabies. We are the mindset thinkers, the planners. We are the earth, the soil, the grassroots of foundation. We are chains and shackles that after being whipped and bruised, we drag our feet. Bruised hands, we still proclaimed our salvation. We are the mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, grandmothers, aunts, a bond that no one can comprehend. We are the peacemakers, the lawmakers. We are a force to be reckoned with as headmasters. Our heart is gold that gives light to the hurting. We are the protectors. We are the sparkling waters that runs through valleys and streams, quenching to the thirsty souls and healing humanity. What's her name? Her name is worthy because it's her space, her place, it's her race. She's just another face in this time to be noticed. As she removes her veil, her aura, bright light, shine, woman, just shine. They are waiting for you.
Yep. We are all that and more.
We are. That's a good piece. Yeah. I like the technique. Everybody's using the refrain. We are. That's good. And then Ro had her pieces there, Yeah, so good stuff. Really good stuff. Yeah. Man, oh man. Well, again, I'm going to invite everybody out on April the 16th, down at the State Museum. Again, it's going to be a wonderful time, with calling it our Youth Poetry Showcase. And I'm still working on how to set this up where we can have people like Lizelle and Neil Owens and Queenie and whoever wants to come on. Even though they're not here in the area, they can still come on by way of Zoom. So we got to figure out how to get you on. And we had a big screen down there too. I mean, we're going to make that happen. That should be a lot of fun. But we are going to have a showcase that is free and open to the public. We'll be featuring poet Tiger Rose, who is, like I said, he's like a urban legend around here, and he does great work. We're going to have a young lady who's only in the 4th grade, and I understand she's a great spoken word artist. We're going to feature her as well. We're going to have, hopefully, members of the Writers Workshop act as judges. Roe and Nanette and whoever, but we need some judges up in here, so we'd like to have that happen. And our young people will be high school students, 9th grade to 12th grade, and they will compete for, cash prizes if they, want to. It's a showcase. We're not calling it a slam, but we will have young people who will, participate. And if they want to do their, the competition, then we'll have a first place winner of $250, second place $100, and then third place $50. And all the young people will get a gift bag, so for their participation. So it should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that.
You don't know how many people yet?
No.
Okay.
We're still, you mean in terms of the poets?
Yes.
No, we don't.
The young people.
Yeah, no, we don't have. I don't know if anyone signed up at this point or not.
Okay.
I know we're just kind of getting it out, just kind of late, but it's on April the 16th, and so we have less than a month, but we have at least 3 weeks.
Okay.
So as we get the word out there and people start hearing about it. Last year we had 15 or 16 people sign up and only 8 showed up. But the 8 showed up, they did a nice job. And Ro, were you a judge, Ro, last year?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
This year, unfortunately, with the play, I just could not add another activity to it because we have rehearsal tomorrow.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Talk about April the 16th.
No. That one I have on my calendar. I just couldn't do that. I knew when because Marie and I answered the same time that we weren't going to be able to judge because of
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't talking about AXO at all, but I hear you. Yeah, no, I was talking about April the 16th judging.
No, I looked I already put it on my calendar because I had mapped out all my rehearsal times.
Okay.
We don't have rehearsals on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be
good.
willing if the creek don't rise, you know what they say.
Oh yeah, if the creek don't rise. Well, cool. So let me see. Did we ever do the Zell's poem? Yeah, you did. You just said we are. That's right. We are. Yeah. All of a sudden I looked at you and I'm like, wait a minute. I tell you, I'm delirious tonight. So what can I
bet. Better get some rest.
I'm listening. I'm going to have to because my body's telling me, look.
Right.
I was sitting there at one point when y'all was talking, I heard you, but I was like,
I was that way last week.
I saw you. I know.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I probably fell asleep on Facebook.
Rest is important now.
Oh, it is. It's important. No question about it. Yeah.
I think I did that Wednesday. We were watching Bible study was on Zoom. And the pastor was like, I want to see faces. Turn your cameras on. Like, okay, Pastor G, I'm turning it on. I was like sitting there going like, my gosh, I probably fell asleep. He probably thinks I'm such a heel.
Okay. It does happen.
Yeah.
Brother Chris can tell you that. I don't know how many times I've done a show and I'm sitting there like
too busy.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, let's do this. Brother Chris, thank you so much for everything. I think we'll let the I don't know. Did we have enough time for another video real quick?
It's 8:58. We have 2 minutes.
Okay. Brother Chris Thomas, let me ask you, because it's his platform, his show. Here we go. Let's see. All right, we'll do this.
We can't have nothing. Not our skin, not our peace, not our sanctuary. Can't have nothing.
I am not an animal.
Can't shop, can't swim, can't walk home, can't pray, can't worship, can't have candy.
You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
Can't sit in a car with friends with the windows down, bathed in bass.
Summer man. Nothing happened. I just got here.
No peace, no justice, no peace.
Can't be a free black girl, free black child, free black boy.
Racism is so deeply embedded into the fabric of the society.
I'm tired! I am tired!
Can't have courtesy, can't ask for help, can't have nothing.
Please don't come close to me. Please take your phone.
Can't get the benefit of the doubt, can't get called by the names we want to be called. Can't sit in a church, pray in a church, have a church, mosque, temple. Can't have nothing. Can't have a nice day. Can't have an uninterrupted ride home. Can't have a day where you don't have to look over your shoulder. Can't have nothing.
It is not about black people hating police. It's about black, white, and brown people rising up against systems of injustice that protect officers who kill.
Can't have a day where you know without a shadow of a doubt the people you love will come home alive. Can't have nothing. Can't have a day when our everything isn't in question. Can't even die without an assist.
If you are a citizen, why do you have to fight for your civil rights?
Can't even have a proper burial. Can't even have a memorial that goes untouched. Can't not be followed in a store, for a block, for a mile, for a day, for days, for years, for life. Can't even get an isolated incident. Can't even get an acknowledgement that the race card is manufactured, store-bought, and made from our skin. Can't have nothing. Can't be a disappeared black girl found safe and in time. Can't get a disappeared black girl's name read on air. Can't have an indictment, conviction, blah, blah, blah. Can't have paid leave, unpaid leave, break, stop.
He said, I can't breathe, and called for his mother. He was calling for all of us mothers. All of us.
Can't have nothing.
Wow.
Yes, that's so sad. And it's still going on, so much so.
So much so.
Mm.
Listen, I want to thank you all for coming on tonight, as always. I feel like this is, part of my family. You're the Wordshop family. And I really look forward to seeing you every single week. And I appreciate your words. Your poetry is always powerful. And also, Brother Chris, man, the videos that you showed tonight were just outstanding.
Yes.
To speak truth to power. So thank you for what you're doing, man, with this platform. And I want to thank everybody who tunes in. If you enjoyed this platform, this program, don't be afraid to share it. We would like to have more people see what we do and what we're about. And hopefully, as we do programs in the community, more people come out and enjoy themselves. Everyone have yourself a great weekend, okay?
You too.
And,
Have a good
I'll see you
night.
tonight.
I'll be glad when tomorrow's over.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on.